Hi, welcome to Edward Box Guitar Tuition. So my classic album inspection today is Fight, War of Words. So this was released September the 14th, 1993. It's 30 years old today. So this album is the album Rob Halford made and the band he formed upon leaving Judas Priest. So back in 92, he wanted to kind of break out and do a bit of solo stuff, but still stay in Priest. There was kind of various miscommunications with Sony, the record label, and with the Priest organisation via fax. And I guess toys got thrown out of the pram and Halford left. And I think the band didn't speak to each other for a long time. And I think Halford would have come back sooner if they had done. So it was a great shame for Priest fans. But we did get this album, and this is better than Priest stuff in the 90s, as is Resurrection, his album in 2000, I think. So Halford got a lot of flack at the time for jumping on the Pantera bandwagon with this. And I think the sort of image of him in the cut-off jeans and the check shirt was, you know, for a guy his age at the time, it was kind of a bit, all right, it did seem like that. But I think this album, I think he did really well. I think the production's really good. It doesn't suffer from the clicky bass double kick drums of Pantera. It's got metal screaming. It's got shredding guitar, so it keeps that. And generally speaking, the songs are of a high quality, although I've got some criticisms of certain aspects. I really liked the song when it came out. I still like it now. It's not perfect, but it was a strong record, and Halford fans and fans of metal still really like this album. So playing on the album, he had Scott Travis on drums. Scott does a great job on this. He's got an excellent drum sound. There's a guy called JJ on bass. He does some sort of grunty vocals. He's cool. The guitar duo's really good on this. So there's a guy called Brian Tills, I think that's his name, on one side of the guitar. He's kind of like the KK. He does some cool whammies, some sort of fast pick bits. Kind of a bit Kerry Kingish at times, a bit Slayerish with some crazy whammies, but melodic, and his solos fit the songs. And on the other guitar is Rush Parrish, more commonly known as Satchel, so we know him from Steel Panther now. This is the first time I heard Rush Parrish. He had a kind of reputation on the LA scene. He plays great on this. He's got a really fat vibrato. He does some really cool shredding, but always plays for the song. Unfortunately, he just did the one album, but they remain friends, him and Rob. And it's great. And then Halford's on really great form. He's still got his high register. He's still doing some screams. So it opens with Into the Pit form, and it's 13. And this sets the template for the album. It's fast double kick drums. What you'll notice with this track is the chorus just repeats the title, Into the Pit. And most songs do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the songs just repeat the title on the chorus, and that's one of my criticisms of the album. I don't know why Rob didn't write more lyrics, but it's a kind of quirk of the album, and the tracks were all written by Rob. Next track's Nailed to the Gun. This is quite a well-known, I think this was a single. This is really good. It's in drop D. You notice the quality of the guitar sound in this. I'm guessing they're probably using dual rectifiers that had just come to the market, something like that. It's got loads of grunt. It's scooped, but not excessively scooped. But it's got loads of clarity. You can hear the separation on this, the guitars come in. I would say the only criticism of production on the album is the bass is a bit clicky for me. The production's of its time, but it's a good 90s production. This is a great track. Loads of balls on the vocals. Really good, you know. Next track's Life in Black. So this is pretty cool. This has got like a 7/4 bar, and then kind of 2 bars of 4/4. Quite a cool feel. Sort of a darker riff, really like it. Something kind of different. And then you got Immortal Sin. This is a typical sort of drop D riff, but I like it. Cool kind of verse, and there's a kind of cool kind of wah-wah guitar comes in over the second half of the verse. The chorus is a bit repetitive, you know, he just repeats Immortal Sin, but it's a good track. And then you got War of Words, which is the title track. This opens with kind of samples of a kind of speech, Fifth Amendment sort of stuff, and Rob kind of goes into kind of not a rap, but does some patter in the middle regarding that. Again, this really cool kind of type guitar on this, and Scott's doing top double bass drum. So it's another strong track, and then you got Laid to Rest. This is 4 minutes 40. This is good. This is kind of like an Alice in Chains sort of. It's got an Eastern vibe to it. I really like the sort of ambience of Rob's vocals on this. This album was only ever on CD. I don't know if it came out on vinyl. I'm guessing I would say that's kind of, you'd call that the side one of the album. So really strong tracks, like I say, just the repetitive chorus thing, but shows real commitment, competes well with sort of stuff like Pantera, and obviously next year there'll be Machine Head. But obviously with the melody and Rob's voice, it gives it another dimension. So next track's For All Eternity. This is a kind of power ballad, but it's got a really quite heavy chorus. It's a nice track. Not as good as the other ones, but it's good. Nice lead break, stretching out more, a bit melodically. He doesn't just repeat For All Eternity on the chorus on this. And then you've got a little Crazy next. I'm guessing this is in drop C. It's quite heavy. It's a bit bluesy. It's got a slide guitar. Again, sort of touching base with the groove metal thing. It's sort of predating, Pantera doing the groove metal thing, but they kind of probably get more groovy by the Sudden Death Trendkill, I guess. So, Halford's kind of getting that bluesy groove in a little earlier, I guess. Good track. I'd say this and For All Eternity are kind of 6 out of 10 tracks. Next track's Contortion, track 9. This is a really cool track. I think this shows the strength of the guitar sound on this. I think this is in E standard tunings, kind of playing F to E. It's really meaty. Bass is pumping on this, the drums, again, he kind of sings more words on the chorus rather than just the title. Great guitar solo by Russ Parrish on this. You forget how the lovely width on his vibrato, and he's got a real soulful balls about his playing, Russ Parrish. Like I say, Brian Tills trades off well. There's a nice yin and yang on this. He's got kind of more piercing tones. He does nasty whammies, but they're good. When I was listening, I was like, actually, the guy, I like the yin and yang of the lead breaks, and they mimic the Downing tips and dynamic in that respect in their own way. Next 2 tracks, I'm not as keen on Kill It and Vicious. Kill It has got a really good end section. It goes really heavy, but they're kind of more punky. Although Vicious has got quite an interesting Lydian flavoured verse. And then it finishes off with Reality, A New Beginning. So this is in drop C tuning. It's really heavy. The riff comes in. Again, you hear the strength of the guitars. One comes in the right side, one comes in left, in unison. Like Rob's vocal on this, he's kind of using a kind of more ethereal voice on it. In actual fact, this track's kind of marked at 13 minutes because basically the track just carries on after it's stopped, and then you've got a bonus track called Jesus Saves. So this is a common thing in the CD era, the early part of it, with bands, instead of just putting a bonus track on, you put a hidden track on by having the track run and run, or you just have, like I've got a Galactic Cowboys album where it's 21 tracks, but in actual fact, it finishes after 10, 11 tracks. And then there's a bonus track 12, but it goes 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, goes on like that. And then when you get a track 21, when you've gone through several minutes, annoyingly, you get the track. So it's just one of those weird quirks. Like I say, people started to fill, this album's 48 minutes, people start to fill more space with CDs. But this album stays on the right side of not having too many tracks. So I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, I think. I still remember getting this, quite a strange time in my life. I remember getting this album, and we had a CD player in the flat was in, and I was well into it. But there wasn't much stuff coming out that year at all. I think I only probably bought a couple of albums as this and that. Space in Your Face by the Galactic Cowboys. I remember getting that, and like I say, there wasn't much. So yeah, unfortunately, Halford left Priest, but this is a good record. It's well worth checking out. After this, they did Small Deadly Space, which was all right. Some good tracks, but not as punchy as this. And Russ Parrish had gone, and it wasn't quite as good. This album sold 225,000 copies in the States, so it did all right, but probably not enough units to justify this carrying on much longer. Okay, so Fight War of Words, 30 years old today. See you again soon. Thanks very much.